and furniture. Large shipments from several of America's top furniture manufacturers have arrived too late to be included in our annual fencing.
There was a detective story once. I think it was called Trent's Last Case. I don't remember who wrote it, but I probably read it along with Chandler, Hammett, and MacDonald when I first got into this line. Well, it was moving day, the end of a dream. And as I packed up things that morning, the title Slade's Last Case somehow got stuck in my head. It kept going round and round like one of those painted carousel horses stuck on gold. Slade's Last Case. It had a funny ring to it. Funny because my memory wasn't that good anymore to remember what my last case was. It had been that long ago. Or that memorable a case. Age will do that to you. And so will long stretches of inactivity. Oh, well, is my grandstand ad in there, as if it matters?
Well, that's the kind of greeting a girl likes to hear.
It's a line from Vertigo. Barbara Bel Geddes says it to Jimmy Stewart.
Is that the one where Kim Novak jumps from the tower?
Yeah, and I sure wish I knew where that tower was.
You'd probably land on your feet.
My luck, huh?
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Mandy. Well...
Why did I ever spend 18 months typing your letters and answering your phone?
Maybe you thought I looked like a private eye. How does the ad look, huh?
It looks fine, but it reads a little like the last days of Pompeii.
Well, thanks. I only spent 12 years in advertising before I landed this mail order job.
It just goes to show you, doesn't it?
Mandy, just read the ad then.
Farewell, my lovely. Kind of a corny headline, isn't it?
Mandy, just read the ad, okay?
Farewell, my lovely. One bright, resourceful private investigator takes the big powder from the not-so-friendly streets of Motor City and less enlightened clients seeking top-notch, strictly confidential, and very professional business or domestic sleuthing can change his mind. Did periods cost extra?
Mandy, whose phone number does it got?
Guess.
Mandy, You are a doll. You know, I thought Brennan Shirley was going to kick me out of here before the ad ran, and that's why I couldn't use this number.
I like the first thing you said better.
And you know, the answering service discontinued me when I fell 3 months behind on my bills.
I still like the first thing you said better.
Huh?
About me being a doll? I am, you know. But that's just it. You don't know. You never did.
Oh, Mandy, you're wrong about that.
I know. It's not good business to mix business with other things.
It isn't.
Mark, I'm not your private secretary anymore. I'm just going to answer the phone at my place as a favor to you for one day only, because tomorrow I have to get back to my paying job.
I know you do, and you're sure a doll to do it.
Please don't use that expression again. Now it sounds like a bad line from a Judy Canova picture.
Oh, that's funny because I never thought of Judy Canova when I looked at you.
That's a revelation. I never knew you looked at me.
Mandy, we worked together for 1.5 years.
And here I thought it was only 18 months. I bet there wasn't a day you even knew what color slip I was wearing.
Mandy, it was the days that you weren't wearing one that I remember most.
I thought you never noticed.
Mandy, I looked at you all of the time.
Talk is cheap, Slade. My time is valuable. I've got a phone to answer all day, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But I always knew the real reason nothing happened between us.
Then you tell me.
You just couldn't take a girl seriously who was named Mandy Blue.
Well, you gotta admit, it does sound a little like one of the strippers at the Windsor Ballet.
Yeah, I guess it does. But it's a lot easier to remember than Barricini. And a whole lot safer if you used to be Mrs. Amanda Barricini of Portland, Oregon.
Remind me not to relocate in Portland, Oregon, then, huh?
Mr. Slade,
That's me.
Elementary deduction.
would it be possible to talk to you alone?
Anything's possible around here, right, Mr. Slade?
Sure.
Well, it's off to work I go. Hi ho, hi
Oh, Mandy,
ho.
leave the paper, please.
Deliver the paper, answer the phones. What some people won't do for love. Save me the crosswords.
I see you've already got the ad. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about it, but I thought you might not let me run it.
Let you run it.
Well, yes. I thought you might object.
Object? I mean, what? Do you just mind telling me what ad you're talking about?
Why, the one in the personals, of course.
In what ad am I looking for? You know, it's funny, but I'm someone who needs clues. Really lots of them.
Then you haven't seen it. It says Crispo.
Crispo.
Yes. His first name's Christopher and his middle name's Paul.
Oh, Crispo. Don't be mad. We'll have the money back by p.m. today. You're only you, 644-8240. Okay, I recognize the number. What gives?
I got it out of the yellow pages. It says you do personal protection.
So do 72 other listings.
Slade sounded more like a real detective than the rest of them.
I think you've been watching too many Humphrey Bogart movies. You know what? Why don't you just take it from the top, please, okay? From the beginning, please.
Crispo is my husband, and...
Well, stop. Wait a minute. Why don't we just take it back even farther? What's your name?
Carla Angstrom.
Okay, and so Crispo Angstrom is your husband then?
That's right.
Okay.
He was sent to the Persian Gulf last September.
What branch?
Marines.
Oh, well, that tells me something about him already.
Well, anyway, when the ground invasion started, his company was one of the first ones in there. I didn't hear anything right away, just what everybody was hearing on TV and in the newspapers. Well, then I got word that he had been killed in action.
And who notified you?
I just heard.
I thought it was customary for the widow to receive a telegram.
Well, I did, eventually. But anyway, I was in shock. Then the shock turned to depression. I wanted to forget everything. Well, one day about a week after...
You got the telegram?
Yes, I guess so. I don't remember exactly. I lost track of the days in my state of...
Confusion?
Yes, I guess so. But anyway, I went to the bank and withdrew our entire savings, about $2,000, and went out and started spending it on myself.
Figuring that he wouldn't need it anymore then.
That's right. Well, no. I just needed something to cheer me up, to lift my spirits.
Well, what did you spend the money on?
Well, the usual, mostly clothes. We had been saving it toward the down payment on a house, and, well, I figured we wouldn't need it for that anymore. So I spent it on myself.
To lift your spirits, as you say? Was that one of the things that you bought with the money? Don't get angry. It really does wear well on you.
I'm not angry.
Just confused, maybe, is that it? But why don't you finish telling your story? No. In fact, better yet, why don't you let me finish telling your story?
But I don't understand. How can you tell my story?
Well, let's put it this way, okay? Maybe I can do just as good a job as you've been doing. Oh, take it easy. Now, Mrs. Angstrom, why don't you simplify things for the both of us by telling me just how much or how little of what you've been telling me has any foundation in truth?
But all of it's true.
Well, then I'm afraid I can't help you.
Okay, the part about Crispo being killed isn't true.
Oh, you mean the part about your being informed of his death? But he still is a Marine, and he was stationed in the Gulf.
That's right.
And he's back in the States now?
He comes home today. His plane arrives at 2:45.
And where will you be at 2:45?
I'm staying with a girlfriend.
Oh, and he doesn't know where that is, right?
Yes.
And he does not expect you to pick him up at the airport?
I made up some story.
I hope the story you made up was better than the one you just told me. Okay, so Crispo takes a taxi, huh?
His brother's picking him up.
Oh, okay. His brother picks him up, and then where does he go, huh?
He goes to the bank, Mr. Slade.
Crispo has been stationed in the Gulf for 9 months or whatever, and the first place he goes is to the bank?
Crispo is very systematic in that way. Besides, he has a lot of uncashed checks. There wasn't a whole lot to do over there.
So he wasn't sending his paychecks home to you then, huh?
At first he was.
But then the family cookie jar started smelling like the savings and loan mess, is that right? So, how have we been getting by on the home front, Mrs. Angstrom?
I work. Odd jobs. I model.
Okay, that's credible enough. But what makes you think he'll even see your personal ad?
He'll see it. Crispo always reads the personals first thing. It's a superstition with him. That's how he met me.
All right. So, he sees your personal ad. He gives me a call, and then he visits my office. We shoot the breeze. We exchange war stories. He tells me about the Gulf, and I tell him about Nam. And then what, huh?
He'll be angry about the money.
How angry?
Angry.
Angry as a hungry Marine?
Mr. Slade, I just want you to hold him here until I can get the money back.
Oh, swell. Maybe we can bivouac right here for a couple of weeks, huh?
I'll be receiving a certified check for $2,500 sometime after 3:30 today. That'll be enough to repay the account and to pay you your fee for...
Oh, personal protection, remember?
I remember. And I want to thank you.
Well, the services aren't rendered yet.
They will be. I feel much better now.
Well, I'm glad one of us does. Are you sure there isn't anything else, Mrs. Angstrom?
I wish you'd call me Carla. Mrs. Angstrom sounds so old.
I'd appreciate it if you just answered my questions, Carla.
Oh, that. No, there's nothing more except I will try to be here by 6, earlier if I can make it.
You know, that's good, but it wasn't quite what I was asking.
Then maybe you should be more specific with your questions, Mr. Slade.
Okay, I knew I was doing something wrong here. Are you sure there isn't anything else that I should know? Like, for example, where the $2,500 is coming from?
Does that matter?
Well, to me, maybe not. But to Crispo, it might matter a lot.
Let me take care of that, okay, Mr. Slade?
Self-serve investigative work. Hey, you know, maybe I could franchise the idea.
By the way, are you going someplace?
Mark Slade going places? Are you kidding?
Again, thank you. You know, on second thought, maybe you had better call me Mrs. Angstrom. My husband might not understand.
No, Slade. I'm gonna miss you.
You're going to miss my $850 rent payment, you mean?
Hell, that was a memory from long ago and far away. What's it been? 3 months?
2.
I guess my memory flails me then. You gotta remember, it's been $850 for 3 years now. I never raised it.
You never raised it because the lease said you couldn't.
Okay, but I could have got $1,200 easy for this office.
Yeah, but see if you could have got a more hassle-free tenant, Brennan. I mean, 3 years is a long time to go with the same 50-watt light bulb. And I might add, a security guard that works shorter hours than a hockey ref.
I love those powers of deduction of yours, Slade. But that's not what I'm gonna miss most about having a private dick on the directory board out there. Ask me what I'm gonna miss most.
I got a sneaky notion you're going to tell me anyway, Brennan.
It's the lovelies that come through here. That's what I'm gonna miss. Like the dish that was here this morning, the dark-haired one. Of course, that Mandy Blue's a real nice, neat package herself.
Tell me, Brennan, by the way, what's the difference between a dish and a package?
Well, I suppose one you serve up, and the other one you unwrap.
I think the 50 watt's just dimmed a little more in here.
Oh, well, hey, someone's got to talk like a private eye around here, right, Slade? Wasn't such a bad business to be in, was it? London Chop House, Caucus Club, Golden Mushroom.
You know, that was early on. Got something here that smacks of more recent times.
Finish your high school at night?
It's from Gus's Coney. You know the place, huh?
Is that the one where all the help have tattoos of the Acropolis on their arms?
Well, all the women anyway.
Slade, you slay me.
Don't worry, I've thought of it many times. Now, why don't you just revert to your normal character, Brennan, and stay away like you have for the last 3 years so that I can do a little packing and finish up around here?
Well, that's just it. I came by to see if I could give you a hand.
Goodbye, Brennan.
Okay? Don't say I didn't ask.
I promise you.
But I'll tell you where you went wrong, Slade. Though I know you probably don't want to hear it.
Right again.
You should never have gotten rid of that Mandy doll. She just lit up the place, if you know what I mean.
Well, it was either her or utility bills, Brennan.
You know what I would have picked? See you around, Slade.
Hello, Slade Investigative. Hello? The next thing I knew, I was with Mandy Blue outside this regal estate I didn't recognize. I was telling Mandy to keep low, out of sight while I took care of business inside. Whatever you do, I was cautioning her, don't let the meter run out. One more parking citation for me would make 20. Enough to redeem on a toaster or at least a dustbuster. I kissed her for good luck, like a B-17 pilot on his 25th and final mission. And then I ejected my 6'2" beaten down frame from the car and I made my way toward the house. Somehow outside the front gate it was daylight. I mean, you figure it. Not only that, but the Royal Guard was off duty. They couldn't have made it any easier for me. I didn't even have to swim the moat. Inside, I furtively covered the distance in something less than record time for my class. Broken down PIs with a wind assist. The only thing that stood in my way now was the front door. I thought about ringing the bell or knocking, but well, I didn't want to wake the cat. There she was, Carla Engstrom, all neatly wrapped up in a big yellow ribbon. And standing over her was the man of the hour, this year's Star Search winner. I'd been spotted. So I stepped inside. But all I could think of saying was, "So you're Crispo. Nice suit, nice hat. Everything fits but that silver accessory you're wearing in your right palm." "Works for me," he shot back. "Now, did you bring the envelope?" "Hey, what's this?" he growled. "This coupon for Frosty Flakes expired 2 months ago." "Okay," I assured him, "but I think you'll see that the next one there for SpaghettiOs, it's good through December." Now, as he studied the fine print, I thought. And then I sprung into action with my own variation on a 52 pickup. "All right, Crispo, drop the heater or I'll pump you so full of H2O you'll think you was at SeaWorld." Carla was free, and nobody was happier about it than me. In fact, my trusty assistant, Mandy Blue, wasn't happy about it at all. I tried to explain feebly. "I can explain." "Don't bother," she said. "That's right," Carla chimed in. "Don't bother." Now, being a private eye was tough enough. Let the girls fight over me all they want, but all I knew was that either way, I was walking out of there with the coupons.
All right, wake up, you sleazeball.
What?
Where is she?
Where's who?
You know who, damn it.
All right, cut the afterburners, kid.
Who you calling a kid? The name's Lance Corporal Crispo Angstrom, United States Marines. And when you've been where I've been, you ain't no stinking kid no more.
I hate to cut your kite strings, Corporal, but you're not the first guy to go off to war. Fact is, you're not even the first one in this room.
Where's Carla?
I can't tell you.
You can't or you won't.
Hey, take your pick because I don't know.
So where's the money?
Do I look like someone who's swimming in cash?
I asked you where the money was.
I'm telling you, I can't help you.
So where's Carla, damn it?
You're repeating yourself, Corporal. What does she look like?
Maybe this will refresh your memory. Don't try to play the dumb dick with me, Slade, and try to tell me you've never seen it before.
So this is Carla, huh?
So this is Carla, huh? Listen, you ass.
Hey! Don't push me, Corporal. I take it there's more inside?
You know damn well there is. What did you do? Take her $2 grand and promise to get her a cover shot?
Mr. Slade had nothing to do with that magazine. I sent in a picture you took of me on our honeymoon, the one on the beach in Barbados. They flew me down to Cozumel to pose for their photographers.
Cozumel? I've been busting my hump in that wasted desert over there when you've been cavorting your cute rear on the beach in Cozumel for some sex criminal with a camera.
He was a professional photographer and I was paid a modeling fee. So here's the $2,000 back that I borrowed from our account for new clothes.
You spent the whole $2 grand on clothes. My brother wrote me that you'd become some walking Vogue cover, but this is ridiculous. That's why I stopped sending home my paychecks.
$2,000 will not buy you a lot of clothes when you're competing for modeling jobs.
Well, I'll say the thing you got on looks a hell of a lot better than anything I saw in the friggin' Gulf.
You know, I don't know whether to thank you or slap your face.
How could you pose for a rag like this?
It's a sports magazine.
Sports magazine, my asthma.
I was hoping you'd be proud.
At least you could have told me. Instead of having it hit me right between the eyes when I got off the airplane at the airport newsstand. How did you know I'd even seen it?
Because you always look at the sports magazines.
My whole company probably got copies before I did.
You know, I wanted it to be a surprise.
It was a surprise, all right.
It's real good to see you, Crispo.
It's real nice to see you too, Carla.
Hope you've eaten already.
Mm-hmm.
Good, because we got better things to do.
Mind if I keep the magazine for my file?
No, I'll keep that.
It's all right. I bought a dozen of them. And here's a little something for you, Mr. Slade. For the use of the hall. Thanks.
Thank you. Corporal. Good job in the Gulf.
Anytime, Mr. Slade.
I don't mean to come between you and that scholarly tome you're so immersed in, but was that Miss Raving Beauty and her significant other I just saw frisking each other in the hallway?
More than likely, you can never tell about this place. But why don't you ask me how I feel about the working ambience around this place?
What's this? $500. Not bad.
Not bad. Right about now, it sounds like a grant from the Kresge Foundation.
You think so? Me? I don't think it amounts to a hill of beans in this cockamamie world.
What's this?
It's responses to your Farewell My Lovely ad. Your adios to the Motor City pitch. I warned you it was a stupid idea.
Mandy, why didn't you call and tell me?
I would have, but I don't have call waiting and the phone wouldn't stop ringing.
You know, if just one out of every 5 of these leads pans out, I'd tell you.
Brennan will be a very happy landlord for a long time to come.
You talked to Brennan already?
He said he'd replace the 50 waters with hundreds first thing in the morning.
Mandy, you are something.
Uh-huh. Your secretary again.
Do you remember the dress code?
Remember it? I made it up. Every Thursday, I don't wear a slip.
Well, if you don't, I won't.
What's so funny?
And I was just thinking,
Uh-oh.
this really is a scene out of a corny Judy Canova movie.
Shut up and buy me a corned beef on rye.
Corned beef? Ha, tonight it's prime rib, extra cut, medium rare.
Prime rib, corned beef. I'm starving.
You're starving. I'm Slade. Just when you think your luck's run out, you're out of work, Lady Luck returns right out of the blue. So the big goodbye, it wasn't a farewell at all. Just the appetizer to a beautiful dinner and the entree to an even more beautiful friendship. Which just goes to show, sometimes the best laid plans are the ones you never made.